Black Star Riders, those of you all know who they are. It's Scott Garham of Thin Lizzy, and for me, I would be on stage with him every night just looking over at him going, history. Because guys like myself, I worship Phil Lynott, you know what I mean? And also getting to play alongside of Ricky Warwick, who's an Irish powerhouse. And I remember one of his first, I think it might have been his first band, The Almighty, from the 80s back in the day, which wasn't, they were in all the metal magazines, but they weren't necessarily.
They were underground.
They were underground, but they got some run under there. But I think that, and actually, they went by Thin Lizzy for a few years. They actually Scott kept the name up as it.
He did it for many years. Ricky's, from what I've been told, Scott's been friends with him for 18 years.
Really?
And here's an iconic band that all musicians know, like King's X.
Yeah,
you
sure.
respect them.
Yeah.
Scott was saying that, like, he could have picked anybody to sing and play bass too. He could have been picking anybody he wanted. And he said something about Ricky's voice just spoke to him. And Ricky's lyrics are so profound and they're dark. And like I'm when I'm doing my audition and I'm learning the songs and then I'm playing with the band, I go, I'm your drummer, so tell me what this song's about.
Right.
Because I want to play it that way to make it have that feel. And I go, Dancing with the Wrong Girl. And I go, it's like surfy, it's like poppy-ish. And he goes, yeah, it's about doing heroin. I'm like, well, I wouldn't expect that one.
Wow.
Or a song called Charlie is about Charles Manson.
Uh-huh.
But the way he does it, where he can take a positive and make it a negative, and take a negative and make... Like, for instance, your band, you're going to hell, right? But you're a nice guy.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot of it goes into this character we perceive, as...
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As the writer, as the Zetro, as the singer, there's that character that, that loves the darkness. I mean, look at my set. It's all horror and darkness and stuff, even though regardless, I think that I come off different. I get a lot of, all the time, people that know me from other forms of life see me on stage or see something that, and I'm like, this is not the person I see every day in the gym or walking down the street.
It's like you turn it on and like Michael Jackson, you're like,
exactly. It's
he doesn't even talk in interviews, and he's like,
exactly. All of a sudden on stage, it's this. Oh, we ready to rip each other's fucking head off? You know what I mean? So
it's entertainment.
It's a persona, I guess.
That's your uniform,
right? And you try not to move too hard from it. And I think if you have that, like Ricky carries it very, very well. You have this, like you said, persona that you are, and people know this entity and idea, and you know what you're going to expect from this guy.
Yeah.
I had a roadie tell me, a tech that worked for us. I said, there's a lot of singers that don't talk in between songs. I talk a lot on stage.
It's good though.
I was crying about it when I go, can't we just run through, click them off 10 in a row? And the guy goes, you know what though, bro? He goes, you know what's great about it? Is I'm always anticipated to see what you're going to say next.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're like the Howard Stern of metal.
I never thought of it like that, kind of. I never thought of it, there's a lot of times where I'll if something goes wrong with a drum set or he busts a snare, some shit like that. No, thank you.
I'm drinking
Kool-Aid and smoking weed. I like it like that. I'm up there and I'll talk to him and I'll, hey, what's up? So you guys smoking weed to that? Okay, well, throw it up here. I
make it personal.
I get in this zone kind of like with it, and it's like I forget that I'm like there. And so, I mean, it made sense when he said that. He goes, I'm just, I'm always excited to see what's he going to say.
I think that's great about you too.
I think that creates a part of the show.
Of being who you are in real life is who you are on stage. You don't have like this and this.
No, it's
and
genuine.
It's very genuine.
It's very genuine.
And that's what people see about you. I can see that now. Like you being on stage, and I've been watching stuff on YouTube, and how you interact with the crowd. They feel a part. They're not just spending money to come and see. And you're like, bow down to me.
I definitely make
you make them feel like they're on stage.
You are,
and that's rock star.
You're the whole reason we're here. If you're not here, I'm not here.
Amen to that.
So now you actually wrote a record with Black Star Riders, and talk about the writing process working with Ricky and Scotty, because I mean I'm even curious. Scott Gorham, you get to write songs with fucking Scott Gorham.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's insane. Again, back to the Breaking Benjamin. That was the part of my success of being on Jay Leno, selling that many records. But playing with Zach and playing with Scott and Ricky and all them, these are icons. These are like the reason why I do what I do. The success of selling 20 million records, no one does it anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah, but when you're playing a show and everyone's like, Scott's in the band, I'm coming. You know, and you're like, I really like you. Scott doesn't even know your band. I like your band, but you want to see Scott, of course.
Right, of course.
So
all of us.
He breaks the ice in so many scenarios. Same with Ricky. But we had Damon Johnson at the time playing guitar with us. Super talented cat. And he was in Brothers Kane, played guitar for Alice Cooper. So he knew the hired gun spot. But he wanted to kind of do his own thing. I mean, it's on his. I guess every musician wants to do a solo record and do stuff that they want to make their own schedule. And he has a family, and we were touring a lot, and he wanted to be home more. So he can make his own decisions. I want to go on tour for a month. I can go on tour. No one's telling me I have to go on tour. So he kind of did his own thing. We brought in a guy named Christian Matitucci from Stone Sour. So Corey was kind enough for us to use him while Slipknot's doing their thing. Corey comes to us and has a bunch of riffs and stuff, and him and Ricky get together, and they send me stuff, and they're like, what do you think about it? And I'm like, sounds pretty good. We do pre-pro with Jay Russian, which is an awesome producer who did like Steel Panther and stuff like that.
Fun stuff.
Stone Sour. And
stuff that's going on today. You know what I mean? Stuff that's definitely updated, guys with their, with his ear to the grindstone. Yes.
Absolutely. And so we did the record together, and it was just probably one of my best experiences of ever doing a record together as a band. Not doing the drums, playing live, and then everyone's doing their parts. We all played together in the same room. And if there were parts that we liked, we would keep for guitars or whatever, or they would go after I was doing the drums. But we wanted that. He wanted to create a Guns N' Roses, like Appetite for Destruction, like raw. Right. Don't worry about the click. Don't worry about playing everything. I want attitude. I want no more Pro Tool.
Sure.
You're off the click a millisecond, so I'm going to move it here, because that's not music. Let's call it how it is, right? So it's rock and roll, and rock and roll is about aggression.
Should be raw.
Raw as it can possibly get, like my VHS tape. See? And
Success.
Then, so we did it really quick, and it was painless. But every time I would do a drum track, if it was 1 or 2 takes, Scott would be playing, and he would mess up the beat ending of a part and be like, damn it! And I'm like, I'm recording for me, dude. So I would have to redo the song. And it was like I'm yelling at this guy who, boys are back in town, for God's sake. And that's kind of how it is, where it's like, Scott is my dad. In a bad way of saying it. I respect him as he respects me.
I think he's old enough he could be your dad.
He's 68, yeah. And
yeah, he could be.
He jokes a lot with me, and the guys being a little bit older than me. And I go, well, I decided if you get applesauce or pea soup in your nursing home, so you better behave.
Right, exactly.
Right?
You're the final.
I'm the one that's going to do the helicopter, or just throw it in your mouth.
I love the helicopter.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but they all have a great sense of humor. And the good thing about being with this band, they're all a super group is really what the band is. You got Stone Sour, Breaking Benjamin, Black Label, Adrenaline Mob, whatever, for me. Rat with Robbie Crane and Vince Neil. Ricky from The Almighty, and obviously Scott Gorham from. So you're putting all these big
heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters, yeah.
That's heavy hitters.
And
you're a heavy hitter, Chad. You played when your name is on the poster, way above everybody, above people that were your heroes.
I know, right?
I know this. Believe me, I've experienced this, and I talk about it. Some of my heroes open for me. They're not even.
Yeah.
It's like.
I remember being played at WMS a long time ago in Cleveland, and they played, which our band was called Short Bus. We didn't have a record deal, but just to hear us on the radio the first time ever was the cool. I'm cranking it up in the stereo, and they said this, that Kiss opened up for Blue Oyster Cult. Now Blue Oyster Cult opens up for Kiss. You just never know. That's why you always got to be cool to the people you play with or your techs, because the techs are the ones that will get you gigs. Yeah, this dude just got canned.
They know everything.
You treat them with respect.
The pulse is they're on the pulse.
They're always constantly working.
This is how gigs. This is how they're the road sluts of the world.
We should just write a book about the formulas, do's and the don'ts.
There's a million. There should be. You know what I mean? There should be. So, what are you guys doing now?
So we're on.
You were obviously at NAMM show this week last.
Yeah,
Lucky you. I've skipped it this year.
I hate my craft when I go there.
Ooh.
It's like cattle falling down the hill.
Why do we all cringe when we walk through? Why does every fan in the world love the hell out of it? And every one of us are like, oh, God, I think
to you and I, of doing it for so long, it's a reunion. Seeing some cool people that I haven't seen in a while.
For me,
that's cool. But when I go in there and everyone's shedding and playing all their licks like they practiced in their basement all summer long, can't wait to show it off in winter and try to get an endorsement.
I know.
I can't do it.
See, what's good about me is singers don't get endorsed by anything.
No, yeah,
I don't have anything.
A microphone.
Are you sure? And they don't endorse anybody. You pay full price. Metallica pays full price.
I'm gonna change that because my
Zetro.
bro works for them.
Really?
So,
well,
yeah.
you tell me you can call
I
Zetro.
will.
Actually, I didn't get they didn't. I have a really high end, and I didn't pay what most of them pay. I actually went to the factory in Nashville where they do. They have 2 outlets. Went to Nashville and bought it. But I mean, it's the best sounding mic for me. But I don't need picks, strings, sticks, skins, drum heads.
It'd be nice though to just have them.
I guess it's stuff to sell, right?
I always say this to singers. I go, yeah, you don't get microphones and this and that, but you sure get publishing.
Yes, we do.
So that makes up for drums, trust me.
We get publishing. That's right. Just got a couple flowing in last week.
There you go.
It's that time. Always after like the first of the year, right after like 3 weeks.
It's the first of the month, so catch.
And I've written for a few other metal bands that pay quite well. So it's really.
That's
cool.
what Richard Marx does now, dude.
He's always done that.
He came to my. Here's 2 cool stories. So, being in Breaking Benjamin, you're more in the gravy train.
Oh,
level.
come on. I know this.
Right.
I know where the good dressing rooms are. I never get those. I get the dressing rooms, but I never get the good ones at the festival.
So when you get to that level, you don't know who's coming to your show. Like I've met Roger Clemens and Tiger Woods the same day, and Roger's talking about going back to the game, and then he does, and I witnessed that.
Wow.
Right?
So you can't buy that. You can't get that at a regular
Tiger Woods,
job.
I meet him, and then a week later he gets busted with all that crap, and I wish I was in a time machine and been like,
amazing.
Yo, here's the deal. Stuff's going to hit the fan. You might not want to go down that route.
Don't fuck the girl at Waffle House, whatever you do.
Yeah, exactly. So the coolest people I've met and their sons are fans of Breaking Benjamin. Richard Marx comes to the show. He's like, you guys sounded great. And the only time I was starstruck, I'm not going to lie, was Bruce Springsteen. He came to our show in Jersey in a Range Rover in the secret compartment of the arena, like Bruce Springsteen's coming in, the boss is coming. That's what I heard on the radio on our text. And I was like, the boss. Like, Bruce Springsteen's coming to our show? Yeah, okay. He is sitting with my wife just dancing to our music because she videoed him. And we go backstage. He goes, you. And I go, who, me? He goes, you're a motherfucker. And I was like, can you tell my boss that? Just make sure he knows that. And for the boss to tell me that, I could die and go to heaven.
Yeah,
and be
sure.
happy, man.
Sure you can. What a great
And he was such a great guy. Like,
that's awesome.
No rock star. And that makes me love my craft. Is when you see cool people that do what we do and make us look good. Not the ones that put the gum on the table, underneath the table, and go, well, you can't chew gum in high school anymore because some idiot over there wrecked it for you.
Exactly. Right.
So it's those stories where it's like, man, we're not
That's
all
neat.
like that.
That's neat.
But yeah, Bruce was super, super
How
cool.
cool. So what are you doing now? What's going on with the talk about
Yeah, cool.
Are we Black Star Rider new album? Are we going to tour? We got something lined up?
Yeah, that record's doing pretty well. It went #1 in the UK, which was huge for us, and it beat my old band Breaking Benjamin, so I was all for that.
In the UK.
And just only in
the UK,
yeah,
well.
I can't.
You have to take the small battles and
Gotta take a battle.
Take them to this one.
But I'm with this band called Walking with Lions that I've been putting together with my bro Kevin in LA. Tour from LA. The guitar players in Minnesota, which is our guitar tech of Black Star Riders, which is weird. And then
It's not, though.
it isn't,
There's so many guys.
but
in
it does happen that way. Yeah, and it's called Walking with Lions, and we're going to be recording all our songs next month and try to tour it while I'm on downtime.
So now are you in LA for right now to be writing?
No, I did it. I just
you're
came
now
for
in
an
Northern California, so
I am.
This is just a visiting kind of a thing.
Yeah, this is just to go to NAMM. I signed a new deal with Peisty Cymbals.
Oh, nice.
I was with Zildjian, so I basically went to NAMM.
You left Zildjian and went to Peisty?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I know.
Zildjian didn't like that, did they?
No.
Yeah, wow.
When I've been with them for 15 years. But Stuart Copeland's my guy,
Uh-huh.
and he was a Peisty guy. And I mean, Charlie Benante, and the list goes on, right? So they have an iconic sound that I've been trying to find for many years, and I was blessed for them to endorse me. So I went to NAMM for that purpose. And
That's
then
good.
we actually were writing some stuff. Got a practice spot right before I was flying out to my bro's Eric's house.
So talk about your endorsements. Talk about who tell them.
Oh,
Let
boy.
everybody know who
I'm
you got.
gonna
Who's on
sound like
everything.
a concubine here.
I don't care. I don't care. This is your time. There's
Well, I greatly
right over there.
appreciate
Tell them
this.
right there.
So I endorsed Tama Drums, Vic First Sticks, Evans Drumheads, Peisty Cymbals, company called Sawtooth, which you should check out. They're a really good company. They do like all the internet for Walmart and Amazon, and
Really?
they do like percussion, guitars, microphone, you name it. But those are the corporations you want to get into because you can build them, and you're at the top of the food
Sure.
chain. You know what I'm saying? So they're really cool. I went for them too. Man, then the list goes on out of drums, like Simpad, Kickport, for the kick drum heads, for the kick drum. And then I have like Sullen Clothing, Black Fly
Talk it all about.
sunglasses,
Talk them all about them.
Power
Sell it.
Balance bracelets.
There you go. Sell it, baby. I know how it works.
It's
sell it, sell
so
it, sell
sad
it.
that I have so many and I can't
It's
remember.
not sad. It's not sad because you know what? It works hand in hand. Do you
No,
understand?
it absolutely
it works
does.
hand in hand.
Absolutely
you know
does.
what I mean? You the people that are that you know you're their hero. They want to see what you're wearing, what you're going on, and that creates a big, you know.
You're
they wanna
promoting
be
them
like
as
you.
they promote
Damn
you.
right you
Absolutely.
are. You damn. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how that's called economy, and that's how it works. You
Very
know?
true.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It ain't a bad word at all.
Yeah. So and then like over the years, you know, other companies, like I hit this company called Get Grinds, and I saw them on Shark Tank. I'm like the John Tempesta. I just started calling. I go, hey, I can promote this. I need this caffeine pouch that you can swallow while I'm playing drums and feel alive, and it has like vitamin B12.
Really?
And it was on Shark Tank, and they're like, yeah, we'll send you a couple of things. Dude, they sent me boxes.
Yeah, sure they did.
Like boxes. And I went and gave it to people. They're like, man, this, because people that dip and trying to get out of it, it's kind of like the chance of
and it's actually just coffee.
just coffee grounds. And so I was dipping caramel macchiato. That really sounds
Caramel
rock
macchiato.
star.
He's tipping caramel macchiatos on stage. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't dip. Although I was watching Philip from Pantera. They just came through with Slayer. He just someone, and he was chewing gum and singing the whole time.
I don't know how you would do
the fuck
that.
do you do that?
I don't know how you would do that.
Where do you put it? Like that? I don't know.
Now, let me ask you some questions. When you sing, do you get cotton mouth a lot?
Only if I smoke a shitload of weed. And I usually do. But you know what? I'll tell you something. Because I talk to the crowd right after the song's done, I hardly drink water during the set because I feel like if you turn around and you drink a drink of water, and the other guys
you
are
lost the
that
engagement.
the show's
wow, you're in it to win it.
So I just
you're like Braveheart, Sam.
Don't believe me. So it's like there's times up there. It's like I've got 7 songs, and I'm like,
you're like me,
somebody's got lemons in the crowd, and I'm like.
You're like me and myself and Irene, where you're just
totally, exactly. It's like, and a lot of times, because I do smoke weed all day, and everyone knows that, and like it's sitting here right here is my I love Rick and Morty, Rick pipe, and I sometimes I gotta go on in an hour, and it's like, again, I don't never want the show to stop. So if we're running 3 songs, and then the next song is guitar change, or maybe it's 3 really thrashy songs, and Tom may need a break to stop to take a drink, because he's just been pounding the shit. Then it's my turn then to turn around and drink, or during the song to stop and drink. Is you're not performing. You just stop performing to do that. There's going to be somebody in my eyes that is fixated on you the whole time, regardless if it's one person or many.
Absolutely.
So every action that you're on stage, you need to be performing the whole time. So believe me, that's a good Braveheart. That's a great way to look at it.
You're in battle, dude.
The way I look at it is
you're in it.
Check it out.
I got to drink water.
When the thing clicks and it starts, when the show starts, the game is now on and the clock is ticking. And so now it's like, I need to win the game. To win the game, I got to know when the timeouts are, when all that is. So,
and you're winning new Exodus fans every show. So it's not like, I've seen that dude, I'll just kind of half-ass it. It's like,
sure, no.
There's some people that have never seen you, so your first impression's everything. So it's like, oh.
And then the thing is I also, I mean, as a singer, and I think that you should look into the crowd, and that should be your focal point.
Hands down.
My raps in between songs are not necessarily scripted, so it's the same thing every night. It's like I may see something that they did, and after the
improv, right?
Even though I'm supposed to say it right here, I go, all right, check it out. We're good seeing you. We're good being here. Hey, you motherfuckers down there, you guys, I love you to death. But if somebody fucking falls down, you just pick them. I don't need no melees going on out there. Just shit like that. So,
and that's a lot of talking. Like,
believe me,
teaching. I teach drum lessons, and I do like Skype and all that, and I talk for like an hour. I'm like, and your voice starts going.
Well, it's funny you say that, because we just did 70,000 tons of metal, the cruise, and we've had to play the first night. But then again, we ended the whole cruise the last night at 12:30. So I had 2 days in between. And because I'm talking to everybody, because you're on a goddamn ship, you got nowhere to go.
You're walking
down the promenade, and, they know who you are. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
You may not know who they are, but they know who you are. So I don't like to be a rude guy. I've never been rude.
Awesome.
I want to be good to my fans. They're good to me. They've kept me relevant in metal for all these years. I owe them that, and I've always been. Besides, that's not my character in the first place, and anybody who's met me knows that. If you walk up to me on the street or you see me at a concert, I'm cool about it. Hey, I'll sign anything. I'll take pictures.
And that is cool.
Most of my band is that. Not most. All of my band is that way. Very much approachable, and it creates such a great thing for the fans.
They'll do anything,
and they will. So I've always felt that that's kind of the way to be. You know what I mean? And never take that for granted.
Your
I never
fan base
do.
is
I never
your
have.
Army.
I never. They're your cheering section.
They are, and they will stick up for your band name to the day they die.
They will. Well, hey man, it's been great having you in the vault. This is going to make for a great, I'm sure, few episodes we love that. And all of the fans that watch my show on YouTube they love this kind of stuff. They love the fact that we get the musicians in and we dig deep with them.
Yeah, there's no politics in it.
No, it's all a good time, and it's all a good. Basically, it's a conversation that you and I are having.
Interview I've had in a long time. Because you get the dumb ones. So if you were a jelly donut, or if you could be any donut, what would it be? And I'm like, why are you asking me these things for interviews?
This is the one that ends it with anybody in Exodus. So, Zetro, did Kirk Hammett really play in Exodus? Yeah, people still ask that
to this day.
To this day. And Gary will end it. If you ask that question to Gary Holt, interview is now immediately over. I'm a little bit more cordial, and I'll say, everyone knows that. Do you really want to go there? So it's just one of those things. But have you back in when Black Star Riders getting more shit coming around? Or you guys come around the Bear? Can I get you back in the vault?
I would love to be on it. I would love to get
Tell
the guys.
everybody where they can get your social media, anything where they can check you out. If they want to go and see your drum, talk about your drum Skype lessons, any of that. Tell them where they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, thank you. So just go to Facebook and type in Chad Szeliga, Szeli, get attention. And if you need to email me about drum lessons, it's Chad Szeliga at
We'll put
Gmail.
the graphics up right here as well. So
Yep, cool. And you can see me on Instagram. Hit me up on that. YouTube, just Chad Szeliga. It's pretty easy. If you can pronounce the last name right, that's a nightmare, but that's a whole other story. And, Black Star Riders, just blackstarriders.com. Walk In With Lines, you can go on our Facebook. We'll be having stuff up very soon for that. And, just stay in touch. And thank you so much.
Another great drummer that we were very fortunate to have in and be able to tell you guys, the fans, that you don't get in a magazine or radio. You're not going to get this type of an interview.
You get that much of a.
That's exactly. That's why there's no time limit here. If it takes 2-3 hours, it takes me 4 episodes to keep you. I cliffhanger them all. I'll cut them off
like a Breaking
tomorrow.
Bad.
To be continued. Yes. And that's like some people said, "Oh man, I was waiting for the next part." Well, you wait till tomorrow. We'll share it. So
that's awesome.
Thank you so much for
Dude,
having me.
thank you so much.
Awesome. You guys.
Best wishes.
Make sure you leave me comments because I want to know what you think about this guy. I want to know what you guys would think about interviews like this. Obviously, share my page and sign up. You got to subscribe to my channel. And we will see all of you very soon in Zetro's Toxic Vault.